So, you guys remember how I said that the reason the federal government got involved in the Epstein case in Miami, Palm Beach actually, is because of the petite policy? Well, there's actually another reason, and it's speculated in the Alex Acosta deposition, which was that the state prosecution was intentionally tanking the case against Epstein. And the specific terminology that was used was that they were impeaching their own witnesses in the grand jury. Now, for those who don't know, a grand jury is basically, hey, we think we have enough to charge this individual, but we're not entirely sure. We want an indictment so we can go ahead and move forward with legal charges. So they get a grand jury together, and the prosecution presents all of the evidence that they have, and then the grand jury decides you either have enough for an indictment or you don't have enough for an indictment. And what was alleged or speculated was that the prosecution was intentionally taking witnesses and putting them on the stand to impeach them. And that means that they were picking witnesses who were going to testify poorly, who they knew would testify poorly, and this was done to make it look like they didn't have a case so that they didn't have to indict Epstein. Obviously, that's a huge issue. Again, it's speculated that this is what was done, and that's partially why the federal government intervened. Now, a lot of times with grand juries, you don't rely on your witnesses. You kind of want to save those for trial. You rely more on physical evidence and circumstantial evidence. Now, it's not unheard of to use witnesses. It's just not always the best practice. And so the allegation here is that the state went out of its way to put witnesses up there in order to tank their own case, not have to have an indictment, and not have to go to trial on the Epstein case. Obviously, that is a huge problem. Again, I can't tell you whether or not that did or did not happen, but it seems to be that there was a bit of a two-prong as to why the federal government wanted to take the case instead of the state government, both because of the petite policy and because of the alleged malpractice. Now, refresher on the petite policy, that's basically the government saying, hey, we're going to step in. We're not going to take this to trial federally if we don't have to. We will go along with what the state government is wanting. We're just going to do it on our terms, which is why there's the non-prosecutorial agreement, which is saying, hey, we as the federal government are agreeing not to try you federally, but this is the agreement that you have to agree to for us to not do that. So for us to not prosecute you, these are the terms you have to agree to. These are the terms that are partially decided on by the state, which is why Alex Acosta was involved as the U.S. state attorney. It's a little bit confusing. I'm still trying to figure out the best way to explain all of this because it's a lot. But yeah, very interesting because it seems like the state points the finger at the federal government points the finger at the state government, and in all reality, I think both just seriously fucked up on this case.